Hey everyone, Fox from modelmaking.guru here, and hello and very welcome to the next instalment of my build series of the awesome 1/3 scale Iron Man Mark III armour partwork from my good friends over at Fanhome. I'm building up this model issue by issue over the coming 2 years, and you can join me as I try not to screw up the gorgeous paintwork too much. As always, in the interest of transparentularity-ness, I need to explain that this partwork has been provided to me at no cost by the good folks at Fanhome. They've no creative input into the videos and all opinions are my own, but they are providing the partwork. If you don't know who Fanhome are, here's a quick video. Now, let's crack on. In this video, I'll be working through issues 7 to 10, focusing on the right arm assembly and the shoulder joint. In the interests of time, I'm not going to go through the magazines, but they are chock full of tons of lovely background and history of the Iron Man character and lore. So, if you want to see that, subscribe to the partwork. As always, I'll be using my own screwdriver set as I find it more comfortable, and a floofy Dodo Juice fantastic fur towel to protect and clean the paintwork on the parts. I'll also be using a handy tidy box to police all the screws and such, and some generic 3-in-1 oil for any screws going into metal parts. All of these or similar are available in my Amazon stores, links in the description below the video. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. We have a lower part count for these 4 issues, but that's fine by me, as simpler means easier to film. Let's crack on. Issue 7 has but 3 parts, including this gorgeous metal piece. The paint job is really lovely, especially on these metal parts. Firstly, I snap the forearm plate onto the right forearm. Then the forearm top was pushed into place and all the parts locked in with a single BP screw. Next, I took the Precambrian Croissant elbow joint I made in issues 5 and 6 and locked it into the forearm assembly with 2 DM screws. Being M screws that were going into metal, I added a tiny touch of the oil to the screws to allow them to thread more easily. And that completes issue 7. Issue 8 has a slightly higher part count, including this lovely metal forearm piece. The gold forearm protector was pushed into place and fixed with a BP screw. Then I snapped parts 8C and 8D together to make the wrist joint. It requires a little fussing, but take your time to line up the screw holes. If they're not lined up right, the parts will not come together correctly and you can damage the parts with the screw. These were fixed with a JP screw. The rubbery cover piece was placed over the assembly. The completed joint was pushed into the forearm, and the two halves of the forearm were brought together and fixed with 4 EM screws, which had been lubricated with a tiny touch of oil. And that completes issue 8. In issue 9, we have only 4 armour parts to assemble. Firstly, the right forearm cover was snapped onto the right forearm assembly. Then, taking note of the R1 and R2 markings on the elbow guard and the covers, the covers were pressed firmly into place. The black tick mark should be at the bottom of each cover piece. Then, making sure the R on the inside of the elbow cover was on the right hand side, the assembly was pushed onto the attachment point on the elbow. This completes issue 9. Issue 10 was next and involves parts and stickers to assemble the shoulder joint. It also includes our first use of nuts and bolts, yes! First, I applied a paper sticker called a friction disc to either side of the shoulder joint. These friction discs are designed to make the joint less flippy-floppy and add some resistance to movement of the parts, so that the entire arm can be supported in any pose. They don't need to be lined up perfectly here, as long as the central hole is clear. Friction discs were also applied in the same way to the smooth side of each of the plastic washer parts. Then I installed a washer in each of the joint covers with the horizontal bars lowermost. The bars aren't lined up with the centre of the hole, so pay attention to the orientation. The bars should butt against the framework inside the joint covers so that the washers cannot rotate. The shoulder joint was then sandwiched between the two joint covers so that the friction discs on the washers were in contact with the discs on either side of the joint. The FM nut was dropped into the conveniently nut-shaped recess on the side of the joint. And the FM bolt threaded with maximum shaky hands into the nut from the other side. I had to adjust the tension of the bolt a little to ensure the joint was solid and firm, but not completely immobile. And with that, issues 7 to 10 are complete. It might seem that some of these steps were a bit minimal this time around, but such is the nature of partworks. Sometimes you have a lot to do, sometimes not much at all. It is the order of things. Anywho, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Again, a big fat thank you to the team at Fanhome for making this possible. If you fancy this partwork yourself, links are in the description below the video. Make sure to use the promo code Tony Stark. That'll really help me out. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe consider supporting this channel and helping to keep it alive by becoming a channel member. Hit the join button below or going to my Patreon page and becoming a patron. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and adios amoebas.